Welcome to Wavelynx Undercover, the micro podcast where we talk to people from companies who either resell, rebrand, or integrate Wavelynx technologies into their own platforms. The purpose of these conversations is to showcase some of the strategic partnerships we have with companies who are equally committed to driving secure, open, and interoperable solutions into the security market today. I'm your host, Sarah Bowling, and my guest today is Jeff Bransfield from RS2 Technologies. Okay, hi, Jeff. Hi.
Hey. Hi.
Good to see you. Welcome to Wavelynx Undercover. I'm excited to have you here as my guest.
Yeah, excited to be here.
So the purpose of these conversations, of course, is to talk with our strategic partners, partners who either resell, rebrand, or integrate Wavelynx technologies into their own platforms. And I'm pretty excited because RS2 is like the hat trick. You've done all three. So I'd love for you, we'll kick things off. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do with RS2, and tell us how we can find Wavelynx products through the RS2 portfolio, and then that'll get you warmed up, and we'll move into a whole bunch of other questions. How's that sound?
Okay, can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah, so introductions. I'm Jeff Bransfield. I'm the Vice President of Sales for RS2 Technologies. So I've been with the company now for almost 10 years. Feels like 15, 20 sometimes, but
that's a
it's Friday, so I'm enjoying it. So we obviously have been in partnership with you guys for quite some time. We were excited to, have a new offering, 3 years ago, I think now we've been, partnered for about 3 years. So that's been a fantastic relationship since then. Like you said, we fully integrated to not only the reader's credentials, right, all the great things that we do there, but also with the Act ID product, with the mobile integration, which has been a huge success with our dealers and our end user channel. So we're really excited about that. So yeah.
So I guess you could say you resell our product, the product with the Wavelynx label on it. That would be our readers and our credentials, leaf credentials. And then by rebranding, I guess that would refer to and integration. They're sort of hand in hand. You've adopted our mobile credential as your own and are coming to market with the brand named Act ID. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, that's correct. We like your stickers on the readers. We're going to leave them there.
Well, you can have your own if you want, but either way. Okay, so first topic on deck we want to talk about today is getting off procs.
Right.
Big deal in our industry. You mentioned you've been with the company 9 or 10 years, feels like 15, tells us that RS2 has been around for a little while, which also indicates that you probably have a large historical base of customers, and not knowing what's going to happen with technology, I'm guessing that you probably have some customers who still have legacy technologies such as procs cards. Would that be fair to assume?
Absolutely, yeah. There's RS2's been around for 22. We're in our 23rd year now in 2021. So we absolutely have customers still out there on 125 kilohertz procs. We've got people on MagStripe. We've got people on all different types. You name it. I've not been surprised to see it. I found an RF reader not too long ago. So it's interesting to see what is still hanging on the wall at times. A lot of people don't think that what they're using every day needs to be updated unless somebody tells them about it, right? So we've been proactively working with our dealer channel for several years, trying to get them to, go, modernize first, right? Really not making it difficult to buy the older technology and deploy the older technology, but really making sure that we're having those conversations with them if those requests are coming through, right? We don't want to see.
You've got several options available, right? When you're approaching this type of upgrade, and obviously the rip and replace is the least favorite, especially for companies like ours who are totally committed to creating secure and open and interoperable solutions, right? So we want them to have a game plan. That we want them to have as much future-proof technology, especially hardware, available to them. So what's the approach? Customers got procs. What next? How do you?
Yeah, really kind of understanding what their needs are, what their thought process. A lot of people don't know what they don't know, so really trying to have them understand 5 years ahead of where they're currently at is something that we try to approach. Where is this going and why? What are the things that they don't know, and we try to educate them on that. People aren't thinking mobile in some cases, maybe they are in others. People aren't thinking encryption, with their plastic to reader conversation because they just don't know. So we're really trying to educate them in, these are the processes that we need to start thinking of, moving forward because, next year, the year after, those are things that will come up. So if we can plan for them now and put the architecture in place now, then we're way ahead of the game moving forward. So that's really kind of the approach that we go out is, understanding what's there, trying to understand where they're at next year as well.
Awesome. And I can speak from experience, putting the Wavelynx reader in place is a great place to start, being able to support legacy procs technology, as well as whatever you're going to choose in terms of encrypted high frequency or even Act ID for mobile credentials. So, so that's great that you're aware of it and that you're educating your customers. And of course, your RSMs are all over it because I work with them all the time. So good news. I mean, I've talked to some integrators who are so passionate about getting their customers off of procs technology. They go so far as to not only, suggest alternative credential solutions, but they'll even make their customers sign a waiver saying, if you want procs, that's on you. It's unsecure. It is not safe. You're putting your system at risk and, it's on your head. So I think we're getting that message out there, which is awesome. And it's kind of a no-brainer now that we've got to get people off of easily cloned procs technology.
Yeah, I mean, we should all be in that consultative role, right, at all times, and that's something that we're very passionate about. Is really trying to educate what what's the next step, what else should they be thinking of. So, yeah, the Wavelynx product's kind of been a Swiss Army knife for us to put out there and have a lot of different directions to go. So, it's been great.
With readers, we're trying to differentiate ourselves from a more proprietary business model that would lock a customer into another proprietary solution. And what I mean by that is a high frequency credential with encrypted keys that are owned by that same vendor. And therefore that customer needs to use those devices in order for their cards to work. That's sort of been the industry standard. We're doing something a little bit different with our open reader technology and our commitment to the LEAF initiative. Mm-hmm. So has your team had any experience supporting LEAF credentials where the customers have had the opportunity to own their encryption keys and really take control over that entire ecosystem so they can say what devices they want their cards to work on? Have you worked with many of those customers?
Yeah, more and more. It's a fairly new thing, right? A lot of people aren't really understanding what that is, what that encryption key is. They still are thinking format is the protection, not the encryption key, which is really there. So we're trying to differentiate, in that conversation of what the difference is between a secure format and a secure encryption key, because they're completely separate things. And so, we're really trying to push that message. A lot of our higher ed university clients, they're definitely going down this path. A lot of our, Fortune 100, Fortune 50, et cetera type clients, those are the people that say, I don't want, anybody else to be able to have my product, right? The ones that I'm carrying in any manner. So yeah, the LEAF program has been encouraging to us, where it's headed. I'm excited to see where it's going to be. Because I think the more manufacturers that take on that, that consortium, I think we're going to be beneficial overall, because, I don't want to, pigeonhole somebody down one direction or the other. So if we can have that more open, architecture thought, all the way down to the, the credential type, that'd be fantastic.
That's the goal. And we're getting there. Okay, so we're going to leave procs behind.
Okay, as we should.
Well, as we should, exactly. and the conversation about LEAF and owning credentials and key management, that's really could just take an entire hour or two in and of itself, because there's just so many things that fall under that hood that customers really don't, that so many people don't truly understand. And I think, when given the chance, we do a good job of explaining it, but it can take a little bit extra time. But I think the takeaway is that RS2 completely supports legacy technology and a smooth migration path off of that technology into a more seamless, future-proof credential, whether that's a physical credential with open key architecture or mobile credentials, which